And we're on.
All right. Good morning. Welcome to this special NAIOP New Jersey webinar, Unlocking Efficiency, Understanding New Jersey's Benchmarking Requirements. My name is Dan Kennedy, CEO of your NAIOP New Jersey chapter. You will soon hear from our guest speaker, Casey Fitzgerald. But first, I want to thank NAIOP New Jersey's master sponsors. Without their support and dedication to the chapter and the broader commercial real estate industry, this morning's webinar and all the other education programs we put on would not have been possible. Again, our thanks. Please mark your calendars for some special important upcoming programs. July 10th, we've got a event at the New Jersey Food Bank up in Hillside. Information on that volunteer day for 2025 is on our website. That'll be held in Hillside, New Jersey on July 10th. On July 21st, we will be announcing this week a new program that's going to be focused on New Jersey's next governor and the future of commercial real estate. We'll also be helping folks in Central Jersey, North and South, basically attend this event by having it at a new location, which is the Middlesex County College main campus in Edison, New Jersey. It's a nice new location. Parking will be readily available, easy in and out for all of our members, no matter where you are in the state. And on September 15th, of course, we have our golf classic at Canoe Brook. Details will be available later this week or early next week. So if you're interested in that, you know where to find Donna Laterza. But now let's go to the program. Casey Fitzgerald is a program manager at Utility Advantage, which is a contractor to the Board of Public Utilities. He currently manages the help desk for the New Jersey Benchmarking Program, and his responsibilities in his role include managing and evaluating the help desk team, recruiting and training staff, establishing customer service standards and processes, handling customer queries and complaints, and providing feedback. He's had these type of sessions with several trade associations, and they've all been successful. Please let's all welcome Casey Fitzgerald as today's webinar presenter. Casey, please take it away.
All right, Dan, thanks for that great introduction. And I will go ahead and start sharing my presentation here, and we'll be on our way. Okay, hi everyone. As Dan mentioned, my name is Casey Fitzgerald. I am a program manager for Utility Advantage, currently acting as the help desk manager for the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities Benchmarking Program. Happy to be here today. So just wanted to provide some background information real quick on Utility Advantage before we get too far into the weeds. So we are an energy and sustainability consulting company. We're New Jersey registered and bonded consultants, and we are women-owned and operated, and we've been in business since 2003. And we were selected by the BPU to provide help desk support for the mandated benchmarking program. And a side note on that is that all of our help desk staff have been certified as New Jersey benchmarking professionals. And just as a whole, as a team, our management team has over 130 years of combined experience. I just bring that up just so you know that should you need to call into our help desk, you will be speaking with a representative that is both local and also very familiar and knowledgeable when it comes to benchmarking. So as we look ahead to the agenda for today, I'm going to be giving an overview of the New Jersey Benchmarking Program, including some background, the program rules, and some important submission deadlines to keep in mind. Then I'm going to walk you through the available support and resources, and we'll wrap it up with some of the best practices in order to achieve compliance with the mandated benchmarking law. So to set the stage on benchmarking as a whole, I would like to draw your attention to this 2018 survey conducted by the U.S. Energy Information Administration. In this survey, the EIA determines that commercial buildings accounted for 97 billion square feet and ultimately 40% of the energy consumed in the U.S. So with that amount of energy being consumed, it becomes vital for building owners and energy efficiency implementers to incorporate benchmarking as a strategic first step to their overall energy efficiency strategy, so that they can better understand how their properties are performing and where potential improvements can be made. So I also want to address what exactly is energy benchmarking. So energy benchmarking is taking is using a tool like Energy Star Portfolio Manager, entering your utility information, and creating a score and a report that compares itself to other similar properties within the Energy Star Portfolio Manager database. So government policies are increasingly including a benchmarking component to require building owners and operators to assess and rate their buildings. These programs are designed to meet the overall objective to improve the efficiency and operations of America's building stock, thereby reducing waste and greenhouse gas emissions, which is tied to local and state climate action plans. And New Jersey has joined several cities and states across the country to implement benchmarking policies into law. And some policy makers have further enacted requirements to achieve specific performance targets and penalties for noncompliance. New Jersey at this time is not one of them. So now that we know what energy benchmarking is, I want to address the question of why should someone benchmark? So benchmarking helps answer the question, how efficient are my facilities? You're able to track your water and energy use and cost over time and compare them to similar buildings so you can see how the efficiency of your properties stack up against similar properties. This will help you better manage costs and help to identify any underperforming buildings. And in doing so, it can help increase areas or identify areas where you can find energy savings and ultimately reduce greenhouse gas emissions. This can also help you identify areas or programs that you can participate in generous incentive programs to help achieve further savings. And overall, any efficient building or any improvements made to the efficiency of a building can help improve the comfort for any tenants in the building. Some further benefits of benchmarking is first and foremost, the Energy Star certification. If you achieve a score of 75 in Energy Star Portfolio Manager, and you fall under the applicable building types, you can receive an actual plaque that you can put on your lobby wall, and you just as a way to notify tenants or anybody walking through the building that it is an efficient building. And so what this can lead to ultimately is it can drive increased real estate valuations. And according to the U.S. Department of Energy's 2013 report, Designing a Benchmarking Plan, benchmarking and efficient buildings overall can help drive new investment. So it can actually help create 5 to 15 green jobs per $1 million invested. And with the ultimate goal of efficient buildings, more efficient buildings are more profitable and valuable at resale. And building owners will actually seek out benchmarking data to differentiate a building or company to help those rental rates and inform the sale or acquisition of existing buildings. So want to highlight the Clean Energy Act of 2018, which is kind of why I'm here today. So on May 23rd, 2018, Governor Phil Murphy signed the Clean Energy Act into law, and the Clean Energy Act does include a benchmarking component, which is requiring any owner or building operator of a commercial property that is over 25,000 square feet to submit a benchmarking report through Energy Star Portfolio Manager on an annual basis. And so Energy Star Portfolio Manager is a free tool that provides a rating from 1 to 100, 1 being the least efficient building when compared to other similar properties, and 100 being the most efficient when compared to those buildings. 75, as I already mentioned, is the score needed to earn the Energy Star certification. And again, as I mentioned previously, certification is only applicable to certain types as shown on the screen. I'm not going to go through the entire list, but feel free to take a picture. So just want to show you exactly what Energy Star Portfolio Manager looks like. Here are a couple of screenshots of what it would look like as you are entering your information into Energy Star Portfolio Manager. So on the left, you see a profile of the building where you can enter your building details as well as your energy and water usage. And then the tool will actually compute a report which again compares your buildings or your portfolio to other similar ones that are already existing in the EPA's database. And then it'll create an output report, as seen on the right, which provides you with the actionable data when evaluating your building's energy efficiency. So a question I get quite often as the help desk manager is, who is covered by this law? Do I have to submit a benchmarking? Do I have to submit a benchmarking report as part of this mandated program? So the Clean Energy Act of 2018 applies to commercial properties over 25,000 square feet. The BPU has defined a commercial building as a building with a tax assessment classification of either 4A, which is commercial, or 4C, which is residential. And if you are unsure of your tax classification, I would highly recommend checking in with your local tax office or local tax assessor. And if your building is required by the Clean Energy Act to submit, it should appear on the covered buildings list, which is made public every single year. Now, there are some exemptions to those properties that are listed on the covered buildings list that I just mentioned, and there are a couple different types, so I'm going to walk you through that here. So there are things known as permanent exemptions, which usually refers to a size exemption. Typically, a property will get listed that's actually under the 25,000 square foot threshold, and or it's a non-qualifying tax code, or if the building has been demolished, then you can apply for a permanent exemption. There are annual exemptions as well. These typically cover if the building has been 100% unoccupied for 100% of the reporting year, if properties were sold or purchased during the reporting year, or if the property has experienced financial distress, like gone bankrupt or gone out of business. You can reach out to us at the help desk by submitting an exemption request and providing supporting documentation. And I'll get into exactly what that means in just a few slides here. But then the BPU will make a determination of the exemption and provide a notification of the exemption status. Now, as you are going through setting up your Energy Star Portfolio Manager account, some of you may have some buildings with multiple tenants, and in order to make obtaining utility data an easier process for the building owner, the BPU has required all investor-owned utilities to develop a system in order to provide data to their customers directly into the Energy Star Portfolio Manager. So when requesting data from utilities, one thing to keep in mind is the 450 rule. The rule states that utilities must provide aggregated data if there are 4 or more utility customers and not one of those customers exceeds 50% of the annual usage. If the 450 rule is not applicable, then the utility will let you know, and you must obtain individual consent for access from the tenants to their utility data. And then for any non-investor-owned utilities, we advise that you check with the municipal utilities for data support and see what information they will supply for you. So some important deadlines to keep in mind, and I want to highlight the first one as it is coming up in a couple of weeks. The deadline for this year is July 1st, 2025. And the year needs to be covering January 1st through December 31st. Annual notices have been sent out. They were sent back in March of 2025. And this is the first year that the program has been in action that there will be no grace period provided. In the past, there has been a 90-day grace period, but this year, the July 1st deadline is a hard deadline. And one thing to note that there are no penalties, no fines, no financial repercussions for noncompliance. Now, the BPU has set up an exam and a training program for third-party professionals to become a certified New Jersey benchmarking professional. So while owners and operators may benchmark their buildings on their own, if you would like some assistance, you can reach out to the help desk and we can provide you with a list of NJ certified benchmarking professionals, and they will be able to provide you with a quote and submit your benchmarking report on your behalf. So as you are going through these submissions or even as benchmarking, want to highlight some of the support that is available to you. First and foremost, being my team here at the help desk. The BPU hired Clearly Energy and Utility Advantage to provide the Beam portal, and we're staffing the benchmarking help desk. It is done through the Beam portal, and we use the Beam CRM to track tickets for all inquiries for the help desk. We're staffed Monday through Friday, 9 to 5:30, and we are able to handle requests via our hotline and through tickets. And we typically respond within 2 business days to all inquiries. Personally, as my own personal challenge, I want our team to be responding right away, but we typically respond within 2 business days. And just one further thing to note is that all email responses are standardized and approved by the Board of Public Utilities. So if you have a more in-depth question for us, we advise that you pick up the phone and we can have a more in-depth conversation. So here is our contact information on how to seek support. You can be reached at the website that we have here listed. You can call us on the hotline for those more in-depth conversations at the phone number listed, or you can send in an email to us. And typically, if you're finding yourself asking whether I should even call into the help desk or send them an email, just know that the scenario is listed on the screen. So any program questions about benchmarking as a whole, exemption request, confirmation of your compliance status, any difficulties with the utility data acquisition, or even if you're lost and you think that you're supposed to be on Beam when you're in ESBM, or you're on ESBM or Energy Star Portfolio Manager and you're on Beam, just give us a call and we will point you in the right direction. I'd also like to highlight a further resource. We have a knowledge base on our website, which is the Beam website. So here you'll find frequently asked questions, the exemption request form where you can submit your exemptions. We do have how to report instructions. We have step-by-step instructions with videos and links to the Energy Star Portfolio Manager. We have training videos. We do have that list for New Jersey certified benchmarkers. We have any program updates will be announced here, and the ticket link to submit any kind of inquiry is found here as well. And then we do have a newsletter, and the next one is coming out soon. And I do have a link for everyone to sign up so they can receive program updates here. Some typical questions that we see at the BPU help desk are regarding the deadline. So I will just highlight that once again. It is July 1st, 2025, coming up in a couple of weeks. And it is a hard deadline. We do receive, especially during this time with the deadline coming up, we do receive questions asking for confirmation of compliance status. I would just ask that if you were to submit the report today, our system requires 24 hours from submission to show up in our system. So if you submit the report today, I would just ask that you wait a full day to reach back out and ask if you are compliant. And again, exemption request is a big topic that we receive, whether or not you need to comply, if there are any fines or penalties. And again, I'll highlight that there are in fact no fines or penalties for non-compliance. Now, while I encourage you all to reach out to us for any questions and we want to help support you, sometimes there are going to be some scenarios in which we are unable to, and typically those situations are regarding Energy Star Portfolio Manager. So I just wanted to highlight their help desk as well. They're incredibly responsive. They work off of a ticket system only. And so if you have any account issues, system issues, or any issues uploading your data specifically into Energy Star Portfolio Manager, you're more than welcome to give us a call, but they really are the experts when it comes to the sign-in issues. So I would advise reaching out to Energy Star specifically for those questions. So I know I've covered a lot. of information here. So I just want to highlight some best practices in order to achieve compliance with the Clean Energy Act of 2018. So typically, I recommend that you submit for compliance as soon as possible. I understand that the deadline is a couple of weeks away, but this is an annual endeavor. So whether it's for this year or for ongoing years, I would advise submitting for compliance as soon as possible. We do require a full calendar's year worth of data for all utilities. So that's electric, natural gas, and water. And those bills must cover the dates from January 1st, 2024 to December 31st, 2024. And submitting as soon as possible will allow lead time for any utility data aggregation and tenant authorizations if required. And it will allow time for corrections to be made to any Energy Star portfolio manager submissions. Now, the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities system will auto-verify and send emails to the contact listed in Energy Star Portfolio Manager, either notifying them of issues or letting them know that they have been deemed compliant. And so if you do have any questions as you are going through your submission process, feel free to reach out to us for via email or tickets. And if you have something that you want to have a conversation about, feel free to pick up the phone and give us a call. And that really is the best way for us to assist you. So driving energy efficiency projects from benchmarking. So the portfolio manager will actually be able to help identify lower performing buildings, which can open the door for energy efficiency programs. There are campaigns in place to promote these energy efficiency programs to property managers and owners, like scorecards and that newsletter that I mentioned you. And benchmarking can help identify energy efficiency programs for commercial and multifamily buildings that are state and utility administered. And I'll include the link there for more information on those energy efficiency programs. So I just want to once again highlight some of the resources that we covered here today that are available to you if you are going through the submission process. We have our knowledge base that can be found at the link on the screen. There is a list of New Jersey certified benchmarkers that can help assist for a fee with your submission. We do have FAQs and videos of the benefits of benchmarking. That's all found on the knowledge base. And then there is the New Jersey Clean Energy website, which has a lot of this similar information, but for further information and background on the benchmarking policy, the energy efficiency programs, and the New Jersey covered buildings lists. So if you want to get in touch with us, I mentioned a couple of times, I have the link here for our benchmarking newsletter. If you have previously submitted information or a report for benchmarking and you're no longer responsible for that project, would use this link here to update your contact information so that you don't continue to receive automated emails for something that's no longer under your jurisdiction or your purview, I should say. And finally, I'll wrap here with the help desk contact information. Feel free to take a picture of this as it's up on the screen, should you want to get in touch with us. However, I believe that this presentation will be sent out after we wrap up here. And I just want to end on this one note. The information that's on our utility bills is information that we can use to help increase our energy efficiency of all of our properties. So benchmarking is an important first step into a strategy to lower and better increase the efficiency of our building stock in the United States. So I just want to say thank you for your time. And if there are any questions, we'll be able to take those now.
Thank you, Casey. I appreciate that. We do have a question that came in. Just want to read it for you. Properties that may not be in compliance, do they get, although you're clear about there's no fines or penalties, are properties judged by the state to be in non-compliance receiving any sort of notification or awareness about that?
It's a good question, and the short answer is yes. We've been working with the state to be more reactive to the submissions. So this previous year, or this current year, I should say, uh, once you submit your information, once you submit your report, and it's received, if there are any errors, you should receive uh, a a pretty fast response regarding the specific issues with the submission.
Awesome. And then invite people to continue to put questions into the webinar chat. Another one, what happens with all the information? Does the state aggregate this information? And is that like aggregated data being used for any sort of refinements to energy efficiency programs, implementation, stuff like that? So I guess the question I've always gotten from NAIOP members is like, all right, we got to throw all this information as well, what's happening with all of it, and how is it
Right.
being used to perhaps inform the state's strategies to implement our clean energy goals?
Right. Yeah, that's a good question. And Dan, you kind of answered it in the
Yeah.
asking. So so the ultimate goal, the long-term goal is to increase the transparency of the energy usage in the state to help better inform those incentive programs that you mentioned. So by having access to that information, they will aggregate it and ultimately be able to better inform the incentives, either be state run or utility run, and just improve the efficacy of those programs as a whole.
Do you know if the BPU publishes that at this point, or is that something that you don't have any information on?
I do know that's on the horizon. I don't have any specific dates
Fair
or
enough.
anything for you there.
All right. I don't see any other questions. I'm going to ask my team, Donna, Aisha, Trish, anybody have any additional questions? We tried to make this efficient, informative, act as a connector to Casey and his team. I think we've accomplished that. If there are no direct questions, you also know where to reach Casey and his team moving forward. And again, as Casey mentioned, we are going to publish this recording and the PowerPoint on our website and throw it out through the weekender as well in the foreseeable future. So today's not the end, hopefully just the beginning. And if there are no other questions, I'm going to end the program with a final thanks to our master sponsors that really help us kind of implement our public policy and advocacy and education programs. Remind you about some of the great programs that are coming up over the summer and through the early part of the fall. And of course, look at our website, naiopnj.org, on our planning calendar for any details here. We wish you a great rest of your day. We're going to give you some time back and be well. And thank you so much for joining this webinar.